right, so this is sequel to episode 2. This week we're talking a sequel to The Goonies. That's what you challenged me to last week.
Correct.
Yeah, sequel no one wants.
But people keep talking about though.
People keep talking about it. Sean Astin saying people are asking for it. I went on the Wikipedia. They're saying that it's coming.
Yeah.
Chris Columbus might be on board for a story credit. I think
alive?
Obviously.
Oh, I'm getting mixed up with John Hughes, actually. Sorry.
Christopher Columbus, he died a long time ago after he got us here.
What happened after Harry Potter? What did he move on to?
I'm not sure. He did I Love You, Beth Cooper.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like I've thought long and hard about this sequel. I'm like, where could I go with this? I'm not really sure. Sorry, I got my notes on my phone, so I'm just ready, or on your phone actually.
Mm-hmm.
But where could I go? And I actually read a comic book this week, which is essentially inspired by Goonies sequel to the Goonies. And I didn't even know, and that was like the weird thing. I started reading, I'm like, this sounds a lot like the Goonies. And I'm like, oh shit, this is literally inspired by the Goonies. Next to the authors on the back, it's like it talked about one of them saying like, this guy loves the Goonies. I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally tainting my sequel that I was currently writing. But anyways, the comic that I'm reading is called Misfit City. I definitely recommend anyone checking it out because it's really entertaining. It's only 2 issues are out so far. There's like one every couple months. But definitely recommend checking it out if you like my sequel because it's kind of inspired by it, but not totally.
Right. Anyone kind of coming after it at all? Being like, yo, you can't like use this.
I haven't heard. I'm sure. Some people said it wasn't that great. I thought it was just fun.
Okay.
Like I didn't think it was like amazing. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Is it like just like a 10-issue story then?
There's only 2 out so far. I'm not sure how far it's going, but I imagine probably like something small, a small arc. But anyways, I realized that a lot of movies nowadays for kids aren't like, they don't feel dangerous. Like the most recent thing we had was like Stranger Things, and you might say, oh, that's not for kids. But it's inspired by all things that used to be for kids, like the Goonies, E.T.,
Monster Squad,
Lost Boys, like all that stuff inspired Stranger Things, and it kind of takes a lot of stuff from there, but then it kind of feels like a neutered version of it.
Exactly.
Like I want to feel that same like dangerousness in Monster Squad where kids are just smoking,
right,
and like
looking at nudie mags, like public porn or some shit, like, or park porn. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, or the woods porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's this thing about woods porn that doesn't exist anymore. But I remember as a kid, if you went to the woods, you would find just porn, like fucked up porn somewhere in the woods. Like
that,
it would
some
be like
homeless guy had.
Yeah, that some homeless guy had.
Yeah.
There's like mud and shit over it. There'd always be mud on it.
Yeah.
Like no residue, but just mud. You know? So like I want that kind of grittiness that that woods porn would have.
Yeah.
This is
into our child films.
Yeah, in our child. Like I remember as a
child
kid.
film's the wrong term, but like just
you made that
like
sound super
young adult
sketchy.
like movies basically.
Yeah, so like I remember as a kid, I would play with my friends outside, and like we would never play like we would play video games once like later on when my parents let me have a console, but mainly we would just go ride our bikes and terrorize the neighborhood. We would like spy on neighbors, do like crazy shit that like you would get like a felony.
Right. You would buy those like ice cream truck guns
and
like put those
for
caps in there, take off the orange like little clips.
We would take off the orange shit so fast. I wanted this to feel dangerous. I wanted to feel like more like kids shouldn't be watching it, but it's okay. Because Goonies, I rewatched it like for this, and like there are kids cussing. I remember I couldn't even watch Goonies as a kid because my parents didn't want me to like turn into the kids and like be a bad influence. So I want it to be like that, where it's like, oh, my parents wouldn't let me watch it, or I wouldn't let my kids watch it, which is not true because I'm gonna have to be like crazier of a parent because I want like these crazy things to go down.
Start them off with the Twilight Zone. Go big,
yeah. But anyways, the kind of story that I wanted it to be like was that we took the maid from the film, Rosalita. Like she still lives in Astoria after like the money started flooding in the city. She made like a good life. Maybe she was the maid for the same family or just whatever. She still lives there. Her relatives come from out of town, like and come for a vacation or something. And like it's 2 little girls and their sisters. Like one's an older sister, one's a younger sister. And they kind of start like exploring the city. And the city has been built up since. Like Astoria has been built up since all the money flooded in from like the pirate ship.
Right. Yeah.
And like it's less corporate. It's more Oregon. Like more like weird and strange, but also like it's built up, and there's a museum there that has all this stuff because people have been flooding to the city as like tourists to see like, anyone that loves pirates goes here now to see the museum. The museum's really big. All the stuff that the father had got donated to the museum, and he built his own museum now.
Yeah, we're now in a new universe where like Pirates of the Caribbean premiered there in that town. And
I guess essentially. So basically,
Captain Jack Willie.
Captain Jack Willie.
Yeah.
So essentially, like the town is like being like it's a pirate tourism attraction. So the theme park kind of moves, like there's people that want to build a theme park that move in, like maybe it's Disney, Six Flags, Universal. Somebody comes in and wants to build like a theme park that's all about pirates in the city but they want to buy the museum too. Essentially, kind of have that same thing going on from the first movie where Country Club wants to take over. But actually, that's just a ruse. Like the people that own the theme park just want to find more treasure, and just using that to get the permits to stop people from trespassing the land and like taking over the caves and like looking for more treasure. Rosalita's relatives come to town, and they basically, it's two little sisters, and they kind of start going to school there, make friends with maybe some of the other locals, like some of the people from the first movie, like maybe Data's kids, maybe Sean Astin's, maybe some of the girls' kids, and they like start, coming to the town, like becoming like part of it essentially. And Rosalia then takes them to the museum, and then they see like all the stuff at the museum. And the museum was set up by Sean Astin and Josh Brolin's father from the movie. Like after getting all that money, he finally opened up his own museum. He's like, this is the Goonies museum, the museum of the Goondocks. And so basically, like that's like the official museum that's almost about to be bought by like these theme park guys that essentially are using the theme park as a ruse to take over the caves and the tunnels and find more treasure, because they assume there's got to be more down there. Like One-Eyed Willie's the best pirate. He easily had more treasure than that. So they, the two sisters are at the museum with Rosalia. She takes them there to show them like, oh, this is what the family who I was taking care of like found and all this stuff. And there's actually a lot of history to this. It's kind of like a history lesson for them. Yeah. And they see the map, the original map, and they're like looking at it and they're like, oh, there's more treasure down there. We just found out, they start translating the map, figuring out because it's in Spanish. And the only one who translated from the first movie is Mouth. And he doesn't really know Spanish that well.
Exactly.
Like he acts like he knows it. He says some
stuttering
creepy
like crazy
shit
when he's reading it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like so they like start realizing that there's more secrets. So the girls kind of sneak out with their friends, like the relatives of the kids from the first movie, and go try and find like more treasure down there. But they run into like this whole operation a la like Lost, like Jurassic Park, Lost World, where these guys have been down there for months, like set up all these checkpoints, like mining for like more treasures, trying to see if there's gold in the walls and all that kind of stuff.
Why not just make an engine also? Shared universe.
Shared universe engine. So basically they're looking for just anything, but then the kids are also like trying to find the treasure because they actually know where it is, like in there. It's just deeper, like deeper down there. And so that's kind of the story that I came up with. But also we're going to have like Sean Astin and Josh Brolin, who've kind of had a rift in their family and like haven't been talking to each other. Like now they need to go find their kids and like the other kids. Because like Rosalita might even call them up and be like, you need to help my kids or something. And we'll have like them. So we have like the kids are in the tunnels. Then there's like the theme park kind of like criminal guys, like corporate criminals. Yeah. The white collar criminals, I guess you'd say. Right. And then we also have like Sean Astin and Josh Brolin. There's going to be a lot of hijinks in the caves. Like they'll be reminiscing their times down there, because down there it's their time.
It's our time down here.
Right. And we want to see some like crazy booby traps also as well. Too.
Oh, definitely. Like, we're going to step it up. It's going to be like Temple Doom style.
It's not going to be Home Alone style. I'm thinking more Last House on the Left. Like bring that danger to like or fun like young adult movies that we had growing up and everything.
Yeah, I definitely want this to be a lot more dangerous than most of the like newer movies. Like I want to bring back the adventure genre, bring back like Indiana Jones, like those style where it's like it feels dangerous and like adventuring somewhere where like no one's ever discovered anything there before. Like this will be that time. So I kind of have that, and I definitely want them to run into Sloth after they after like he got kicked out of Chunk's house because he was gonna just go live with Chunk, but there's no way he lived at
Right,
Chunk's
the
house.
adoption fees and everything. Like, what the fuck?
The
What were they
adoption
thinking?
fees
Yeah.
for a 38-year-old savage,
Yeah.
or however old he was.
So, all right, gotta ask, like, what shirt is he wearing now? That like he was wearing Superman. Is he wearing a Wonder Woman shirt now?
Man of
or-
Steel.
Man of Steel. Okay.
From the Zack Snyder film,
Gotcha, yeah.
clearly.
Uh-huh.
Or no, not Man of Steel, Steel. Like
Oh, okay,
Shaq,
yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Uh-huh.
Steel shirt.
Still repping that.
He's repping. Well, no, like he's repping the Steel shirt.
Right.
Yeah, he loves that. That's
Yeah.
like the most recent movie he's seen because he's been living in the caves now.
And all right, another question also. I don't know the name of the song, but the why song in the
Cindy
credits.
Lauper
Yeah,
one?
is that it? Yeah.
Okay, so I was
Do
thinking
you
like
have a song in mind?
we need someone that's like Cindy Lauper now, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I'm thinking Kesha, like because people like I saw like recently she's coming out with an album soon.
Yeah.
I thought this is perfect. I'm not really a fan of Kesha. I mean, you could go Katy Perry, but I think Kesha is like trying to say that she's all psychedelic now on her new album, and like she went like on a psychedelic journey to write her new album. I can't imagine that's psychedelic at all.
Right.
But I'm thinking that she will be the voice of the new Goonies.
Okay, and I really like your title, the Goondocks. Actually, I know you didn't say that, but you said that.
Well, that's what
somewhere.
the town is called. It's called where they live is called the Goondocks.
Oh, it is. Okay,
That's where they got the name the Goonies.
Gotcha, need to
Like their
rewatch
community.
that.
So maybe
Yeah.
call the new one the Goondocks or something like that. Or Goonies 2, whatever. Just go classic.
colon the Goondocks.
Goonies 2 : the Goondocks.
Yeah.
I think that should be it.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, I think that's my. What do you think of
Yeah,
my
it's a
sequel?
take on it, and it's like an actual legitimate take on where it probably should go, because we are going to get a sequel. They've been talking about it. I hope not. I hope it does just stay in kind of that dead, just like, just development hell that it's kind of stuck in right now. But they keep saying it's going to happen, and if it is going to happen, this is actually a direction I can see them going in. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
I did want to make it go crazy and have it be like about like time travel, and like there was going to be like some time travel down in the caves and stuff, but I thought I'll just stick to the original, have them be looking for treasure, and like
come across Gizmo somehow.
Yeah.
Like the Steven Spielberg Presents universe.
I don't know about that, but
well, you know how that like
Amblin?
yeah, exactly.
I don't know about that. That might be a little too crazy, but I mean that could be a thing, like the Amblin universe, you know? My favorite word, but I think we'll just stick it to be like a swashbuckling treasure finding adventure movie.
Right.
But that's like about all I had. But now getting to you next week.
Okay. What am I sequelizing?
Yeah, what do you think you would be sequelizing?
What's getting sequeled?
So I have it here. We're not always gonna have these movies on VHS or DVD, but right now we're just pulling from your collection.
Right.
And this one, I don't think you saw this coming at all, so you're gonna be surprised.
What am I making a sequel for?
There is no sequel, but it's Fast
God.
Times at Ridgemont High.
But I feel like that is something though that like has been talked about also.
So I'll even let you can make something that's like not even like a sequel, but like a reimagining if you want. Like, just because I think a sequel, like some of these movies, you could also do a reimagining.
I mean,
think
yeah,
sequel would be
exactly.
too
What
weird.
I would imagine they would do for Fast Times is like it's the same school but all new characters, basically. So that's maybe what I'll go with, but I'll try to think it over the next week.
I think
of course,
if
but
you're gonna do it, that would be the best way. I don't think you should go like the same route that I did, because I think it's gonna get stale if we always do every week where it's like, oh, there's some like people from the original, maybe like a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, and he dies.
Well, another
or
thing
something.
is like, Top Gun is another one also that's like coming out where like it's happening apparently, and
okay, we'll do that like maybe in a couple weeks
Top
before
Gun,
before the movie comes out.
yeah,
So we can laugh at it.
right. But Fast Times now, that's interesting, and actually I can see that happening. Not surprised, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be it for this week. Tune in next week. You're going to give your take on Fast Times 2 or just Fast Times the reimagining.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.